Like and subscribe right now, or you're gonna have terrible luck for the next week. In this video, we are going to show you guys 10 people that have some insane extra body parts you wouldn't believe are actually real. Before viewing them, be aware that some of these images are a bit difficult to look at, but remember most of these people have gone on to live happy and healthy lives. Let's get into it. Number 10. Deepak Paswan. 4 extra limbs. Deepak was born with extra limbs coming out of his chest, including 2 very long legs. Some people in his village thought he was the devil, while others believed he was a reincarnation of a Hindu god named Vishnu. But the boy showed everyone he was just an ordinary kid when a hospital in Bangalore offered to do surgery to remove his limbs for free, as Deepak's family did not have enough money to accommodate the surgery, which was supposed to be $78,000. Fortunately, he is now free to live his life the way he wants, without people staring or making fun of him. Number 9. Akshat Saxena. Extra fingers and toes. Akshat was unfortunately born with 7 fingers on each hand and 10 toes on each foot, meaning he had 34 fingers and toes combined, which of course set a world record. His mother stated that she was extremely happy to see her firstborn, but later she saw his fingers and toes and was left shocked and extremely surprised. The condition is known as polydactyly and is a genetic disorder which can be inherited and gives rise to excess digits. Most commonly, the excess digits appear on the little finger side of the hand. The child's father said it was a family friend who convinced them Akshat was extremely special. Akshat has since had surgery to correct his condition and is now living healthily and happily. Number 8. Zhang Rufang, the horned grandmother. At 101 years old, this elderly Chinese woman mysteriously developed a horn on her head, which left fellow friends and family baffled, perhaps even worried when it first appeared. It is not too uncommon for older citizens to develop spots of compacted keratin if they've had a lot of sun exposure throughout their lives, but it is uncommon for them to grow horns as a result of it. At first, it started out as a small spot made of the same material as hair and fingernails, but eventually grew to be over 2 inches long. Soon enough, she also developed another spot on the other side of her head, and she stated that she was actually looking forward to the other one growing, so they could match. Number 7. Ganja and Jumana Mondal, Spider Girls. These 2 women were born as conjoined twins who between them have 4 arms and 3 legs. They share a stomach but have separate kidneys, livers, and hearts. They have made a living by performing in a circus, which may sound mean, but they have said to enjoy it, and the sisters see it as a positive thing to come out of their complications. They have to get around by communicating with each other whilst walking on their hands, which is where they got the name Spider Girls, but I assume they are now used to the way they have to live and have learned to deal with such problems. Number 6. Lakshmi Tatma. Extra torso and extra limbs. A young girl was named after the Indian goddess of wealth and prosperity called Lakshmi. This girl was born with an extraordinary condition, which left her attached to a semi-developed conjoined twin, giving her an extra torso and extra limbs. The conjoined twin's body was attached to Lakshmi below her waist, which gave the illusion that she had 8 limbs and 2 torsos. This is exactly how the goddess she was named after is often portrayed. The people of the village praised her as they believed she was an incarnation of the goddess, but Lakshmi was just a girl born with an extremely rare condition that went on to be treated. She has since had surgery and is a normal girl with 2 legs and arms, meaning she will hopefully live a happy and painless life. Number 5. Manar Majed, 2 heads. When a girl named Manar Majed was born, doctors and her mother were shocked to see that she had a twin. But the other baby was not what you would expect to see. The twin, who the mother named Islam, was only a head. She had her own brain and could blink and make facial expressions separate from Manar's, but sadly she couldn't survive on her own. Doctors made the decision to separate them at the cost of the underdeveloped baby's life. Tragically, Manar also passed away from a brain infection just before she turned 2 years old. But she and Islam will go down in history as 2 truly amazing babies. Number 4. Alfie Clamp. Extra strand of DNA. A young boy named Alfie Clamp has become the first person in the world to be discovered to have an extra strand of DNA. He was born blind and with disabilities, which caused doctors to carry out tests of which revealed his extremely unusual condition. The test revealed his 7th chromosome had an extra arm, which has never been documented anywhere in the world before. This caused him to have multiple problems early on in his life, including a few instances where he completely stopped breathing. But nobody is sure how it will affect him later in life, as the condition hasn't even got a name yet, meaning it's pretty much still unknown. Number 3. Baby Itsamara, born pregnant. Now, this is what you call rare. A specific Colombian woman was expecting twins, but only gave birth to one child, who was pregnant with her own twin. The newborn girl was named Itsamara and is one of 200 babies ever to be born pregnant. The doctors noticed the mother had 2 umbilical cords but only 1 fetus, which led them to quickly perform a C-section on her 2 weeks before she was due. Just 24 hours after the surgery, the day-old baby had to have a C-section of its own to remove her unborn twin, who was mysteriously in her young womb as a mass which sadly had no brain or heart. Both surgeries were successful, but what happened to Itsamara left doctors scratching their heads. Number 2. Sarah Rainfelder, 2 uteruses. By now you should already know that very strange things can happen in pregnancies. But what are the odds of having a sibling that was born at the same date and time as you, and have the same mom and dad, but they are not your twin? Sarah Rainfelder broke the internet when her 2 healthy babies were born at the same time, each from a separate one of her 2 uteruses. Sarah from Michigan first discovered she had 2 uteruses when she experienced a miscarriage with her first pregnancy in 2007. She unfortunately lost the twins and was told by doctors it would be very unlikely for her to give birth due to her condition. But 2 years later, the woman beat these odds and gave birth to another set of twins, each from her 2 wombs. Number 1. Tyson Smith, piggyback heart. Right around Valentine's Day 2011, Tyson Smith woke up with a big smile on his face after completing a unique, life-changing surgery. Mr. Smith was suffering from a serious case of heart failure, and doctors informed him that if nothing was done about it, then he was going to die. His weak heart had already built a high resistance of blood flow in the lungs, meaning doctors had to focus on performing a high-risk surgery where they had to attach a donor heart onto his, instead of completely replacing it. Essentially, the procedure left Tyson Smith with a piggyback heart, working alongside his own. The doctors did a brilliant job at attaching it correctly and most definitely saved Tyson Smith's life. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, be sure to smash the like button and leave a comment. Your engagement is what keeps our curiosity going, and we have plenty of other videos you will enjoy. You can start by clicking on the ones that are showing right now. See you there.